we're honored to be here. That trophy would mean a lot to this team, this university, and this place. We're playing a really good team tomorrow. Our guys are ready, and we're looking forward to a great game.
We have a microphone for questions. Raise your hand.
I can probably hear them.
Scott, if McKenzie didn't have the ability to run the way that he does on those design runs, how different would this offense look?
Yeah, I don't think this offense is as good without that weapon, having a quarterback that can move. McKenzie's not just a good runner. He's been really elusive in the pocket. Our offensive line's certainly done a great job this year, but a lot of our low sack total has to do with him being able to escape and evade pressure, and he's added to our team in both those ways.
Coach, how low was morale when you got here, and what did you do to overcome that when you first got here?
I don't know if morale was low. There was a lot of spirit on this team. There's a lot of guys that, even with a bad record, believe they could accomplish a lot more, and I think that spirit had a lot to do with getting us where we are. I remember talking to Shaquem and Pittman and Tony Garrod and Shaquan Burkett and countless other guys, and they all believed they should have been a better team than they were the year before. And that belief, I think, helped catapult us forward a little faster.
Scott, you talked about the moments when even you realized that things were moving along a little quicker than even you expected. Do you remember the moment when you said to yourself, this team is capable of winning a conference championship?
You know, it's just all come together so well this year. We had trouble moving the ball against our defense in the spring. We had trouble moving it in fall camp. So I knew we were going to be pretty good on defense, even though we'd lost a bunch of good players, and we thought we might take a step back. But again, things have fallen into place. Shaquan Burkett coming back for us has helped a lot. Getting Mike Hughes late in the year has helped us a lot. He's been a great player. Staying healthy on that side of the ball and having some young guys play well have been big pieces. You know, and we didn't know where we'd be on offense. We knew we'd be better because we had a lot of guys returning. But like I said, we didn't move it very well against our defense during practice. So to watch that group figure it out and develop confidence and cohesion and get to where they are, it's been amazing. And I'm not sure there's very many other groups of people that could have engineered this kind of, not engineered, I'm talking about the players that could have driven this kind of turnaround. I'm also not sure there's very many places in the country where that would even be possible. But this place in this place it's possible, and with these kids it was possible.
Yeah, Scott, both of these teams have shown the potential to score 60, maybe even 70 points. With that in mind, what type of game do you expect tomorrow?
It's going to be a good game. I think they're playing as well as they've played all year. I think we're playing at our best right now. Both teams have been dominant for the most part this year. You know, the first game against them probably would have been a shootout, except we created some turnovers when they were going in to score on us, and that really gave us a margin in the game. We made our share of plays, and they made their share of their plays, but those turnovers were big. And usually in those big games, it comes down to turnovers and special teams, and I expect that to be a factor tomorrow.
Coach, last week's win emotional, and there were some distractions this week. How is the team focused this week, preparing for such a big stage?
All I can tell you is everybody in our building is doing things exactly the same way we've been doing them for 11 weeks and longer since we had hurricane games and everything else. Practice have been great. The coaches are dialed in. The players are dialed in. The trainers and equipment guys are dialed in. This team wants to finish this off the right way. We know we have a big challenge and a good opponent in front of us, but they're going to get our best, and if we play as well as we can play, then I like our chances.
Hey, Coach, you spoke a bit about the turnaround from 2016 being the bounce back from the undefeated or the all-defeated 2015 season. In 2017, had plenty of challenges with the hurricane coming on and then having no bye week through there. Kind of explain how you managed to keep the high standard going with this group.
Yeah, I told these guys before the season that it's probably harder to go from 0-12 easier to go from 0-12 to 6-6 than it is to go from 6-6 to 9-3 or 10-2. That means you got to start winning some of those close games, beating some good teams. You got to keep the momentum going. I think I knew when we went up to Maryland and played like we did that we had a chance to be better than maybe any of us thought. But we've had some challenges along the way. I look back to fall camp, and we approached fall camp a little differently with the early start to fall camp, and we made sure our guys were fresh coming out of fall camp. I think because of the way the season's turned out that's been really important because we have been, this I think will be our 11th week in a row playing a football game, and that can wear a team down. But I give a ton of credit to Zach Duvall all the time, our strength coach, to Mary, our trainer. This is one of the healthiest seasons of football that I've been a part of, and I think those two people and their staffs and probably our approach to it has helped us stay fresh and be ready to play.
Taj McGowan seemed to be a very big factor in that first game that you guys had against Memphis. We haven't seen a lot of him since. Why is that?
No reason. Taj is a great player, and we trust him. We'll put him in at any time. I think Otis has probably earned the right to be out there a little bit with some of the plays he's made, but I've said this a bunch. There's a bunch of guys on our team and a bunch of backs that we trust to do the job, and I have no problem with any of them being in there.
Coach, right here, the first time you played Memphis, they had a lot of injuries in their defense, and they turned the ball over a lot. How have you seen them progress, and how different did they look to you now when you watch them on tape than what they looked like when you played them first time?
I don't know. It's the same guys. They've changed their schemes up a little bit, particularly on defense. They're playing more man-to-man coverage, doing some different things. They've moved a couple players to different spots on defense. But their guys are familiar with our guys, and our guys are familiar with their guys. And I think both teams have continued to evolve and improve over the course of the season. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I know our team's going to be ready, and we're going to play well. And we're looking forward to the challenge.
Coach, you mentioned the importance of staying dialed in this whole week. Have you had to address anything with your players concerning your future, and how have you been able to stay dialed in this week?
No, I'm staying dialed in by doing my job. We got a great game plan. We need to execute it. Practices have been great. We can't beat Memphis unless we have 100% attention on this game and this opportunity and this challenge, and that's what we've done.
Hey, Coach. I think you played in 2 conference games as a player, and you were 1-1. Is there a key into how do you approach a conference game different than maybe a regular season game for your players?
No, there really wasn't a difference. The great thing for us is after a short week going into that last game, we had a couple days off for our team, and I think they need that. They kind of came back Monday a little rejuvenated, and that's helped. But otherwise, we've approached this just like any other game, and that's the way we've treated all of them up to this point, and we'll continue to.
Scott, last Friday was one of the more entertaining games in the country. I think most people who watched it would admit to that. Were you concerned it might have taken something out of you, or is there any way you can guard against that type of thing?
Yeah, we've talked all week about making sure we have the juice for one more, and the guys have answered the bell in practice. I expect them to answer the bell Saturday. What these guys are attempting to do, if they can win tomorrow, doesn't happen very often, particularly when a season unfolds like it did and we don't have a break anywhere in there. So that probably adds a little bit of challenge. But our guys are excited to play, and they're looking forward to this. I think any chance that this group gets to play with one another, they cherish, and they'll be ready.
Okay, Coach, ask Coach Norvell this question as well. There's been a lot of big games for the conference, whether it be, let's say, Memphis versus Houston, or certainly USF versus UCF. What do you think this conference championship can do for the reputation of the conference to the College Football Committee?
Well, people have been trying to get me to talk all year about our ranking and where we should be, and I don't want to do that. I don't think it's my place to do that, but I will talk about the football in this conference. I don't think USF gets the credit they deserve in this country. That is a fine football team that we played last week. You look at a team like our opponent tomorrow that beat UCLA by about the same margin that USC beat UCLA, and a bunch of people sitting in a room think USC is a lot better team than Memphis. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, there's countless examples of that. Arizona being a good Pac-12 team, and Houston going out there and getting a win. UCF score comparison with Maryland compared to Wisconsin, and Navy compared to Notre Dame. I think this conference deserves more attention than what it's getting, and more credit than what it's getting right now. And I'm not just saying that about our team. I think there's a lot of football teams in this league that could beat a bunch of teams in those big leagues. And I think a lot of people know it and recognize it, and I'm not sure that several teams in this league are getting a fair shake.